much muscle they lost from each leg during the 14 weeks. Okay? That's important because muscle is what is tied to performance. That's what gives you your strength, your speed, your power. Okay? And if you lose muscle during the season, you lose strength, speed, and power. And for hockey players, that's huge. For football players, it's huge. And so the cause of that muscle loss is more than likely related to your diet. And looking at what those guys were eating, they weren't eating enough calories, and they weren't eating enough protein. And that's something that's easily fixed, is just making sure that you're eating adequately. Okay? And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to eat adequately, with right nutrition. Okay? And this is going to apply to females as well, because the same things are going to happen in that situation. And we have found similar results in soccer players. Okay? That study's kind of still going on. I have notes here, so I gotta, to make sure that I cover everything that I need to, I gotta go through the results. Okay? So, your diet primarily consists of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So what's a good source of carbohydrates? Anybody know what a good source? Pasta, spaghetti, rice, vegetables, fruit. Correct. Right? What's a good source of protein? Steak. Steak, as long as it's lean cuts of steak.
Yeah.
What?
Almond.
Almonds? Not really. Sorry. Nuts are, they have a little bit of protein, but not like fish, chicken, turkey, red meat. Okay? Yeah, but, well, you bring up a good point. There's what's called complete proteins and incomplete proteins. And complete proteins bring what's called essential amino acids. If you take individual amino acids, those are our building blocks of protein. And that's what makes up our muscle. Essential amino acids can only be obtained through our diet. And essential amino acids can only be obtained from meat sources, not from vegetable sources. So like nuts are mostly incomplete proteins, are non-essential amino acids. So they do provide some source of protein, but not the essential amino acids that we need. That primarily comes from meat, dairy products, eggs. Okay? All right. So carbohydrates are the fuel, our gasoline. They provide the energy that our muscles need to move. Okay? And we can, when we consume carbohydrates in the form of rice, pasta, vegetables, or fruit, that energy is stored in our muscles, and then we use that energy for muscle contraction. Okay? I just mentioned about the proteins. Okay? And so, how much protein do you need? Okay? The general recommendation for athletes like you, which are called speed or power athletes, is 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. Okay? So for a 150-pound person, that's about 70 kilograms. You're looking at about 105 grams of protein per day. Okay? You can't consume all of that protein at once. Okay? You have to divide it up into equal amounts throughout the day. Okay? So to give you an idea, a hamburger, about the size of your palm of your hand, a deck of cards is about 3 ounces. That contains about 25 grams of protein. Okay? Can of tuna fish, a chicken breast, all about 25 grams of protein if it's equal to the size of the palm of your hand. Okay? So you need, if you were eating, let's say, 4 meals a day, you would want roughly about 26 grams of protein per meal. Okay? All right. So for lunch and dinner, it's no big deal.
here, minus here. We're building muscle here or maintaining muscle. We're breaking down muscle here. When we eat a meal, we go into an anabolic state. We're building up muscle or repairing muscle, right? And then in between meals, it looks something like this. Okay? And this is what a typical American diet looks like, where we have about 10 grams of protein for breakfast, our glass of milk, basically. We have a sandwich, some fruit, apple, or whatever for lunch, and we get our about 25 grams here. And you can see that the more protein that we get, the more we're in a building phase of muscle, or repair phase of muscle. And then typically for lunch or dinner, the typical American eats a huge meal that's heavy in protein, and we go into a big anabolic state. Okay? That doesn't do our body very good. What we really want is something that looks like this, where the peaks and valleys are equal. Okay? So every meal is about 25 grams. Okay? To get to that, you should have another meal. Okay? And so that's why it's so important that every meal becomes balanced. So you visualize that smiley face and say, okay, where's my good carbs coming from? Where's my good sources of protein? Okay? And the key is just knowing what are those good sources of carbs and good sources of protein. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? And it's going to help tremendously with performance, especially when you get done with the workout and you follow it. So, you know, if this is when you're working out, you're following them with the balanced meal, you're going to be able to resynthesize, store that carbohydrate, that fuel that you just used up out on the ice. You're going to be able to have that protein, which is going to help with muscle repair and growth. Right? So you're all still in that growing phase. You still have room for not only growth in height, but growth in body size. Okay? And that muscle growth is going to be important for your ability to generate power, have the speed, and the muscular endurance to last throughout the game. Okay? Any questions so far? All makes sense? Okay? So that's basic diet information about trying to eat a balanced diet. Okay? And I'm kind of a visual person, so I think that's why that smiley face helps. Athletes at the university like it because typically they go through like a cafeteria style. It's not provided to them like at a dinner table. So as they go through the cafeteria, they can look at their plate and say, and all their choices and say, okay, where's my carbs coming from? And they can select, you know, the spaghetti. At Iowa State and Larson's, they have a pasta bar. And so they're able to get the pasta and add meat to it, and they make it very kind of special for them, different sauces, that kind of thing. So it helps them visualize that as they're walking through the cafeteria style as well. Okay. The other thing to keep in mind is hydration status. And I know I've seen the amount of drinking that goes on during the game, the Gatorade or the water, and that is crucial to performance. Your muscle is 70% water, and when you sweat, the water that you're sweating is actually coming from your blood. Okay? It might sound kind of gross, but your blood is composed of a fluid portion and a solid portion. The solid portion are your red blood cells that carry the oxygen. The fluid portion is called plasma. And when you sweat, that sweat that's dripping off your face is coming from the plasma portion. So you're actually losing blood volume. And when you lose blood volume, your performance declines. You're not able to perform as well. And an easy way of looking at how much water you lose during a game or even practice is to weigh yourself before practice and weigh yourself after. And the amount of weight that you lose is the amount of water that you lost, and it needs replaced. And that can be replaced either through drinking water or a sports drink. Okay? Probably a combination. I wouldn't rely totally on Gatorade. I would rely probably on half water, half Gatorade. Okay?
And so after practice, it's crucial to get that back. It also helps with thermal regulation, so you don't overheat. And a lot of people don't think of hockey players overheating, but they do. And the reason for that is, even though it's cold out there, what's underneath your pads, it creates a microenvironment. And so the reason that you become so wet after a game is that sweat is not evaporating, because the pads don't allow the sweat to evaporate. It just drips off your body, and it's the evaporation that cools your body. And if it doesn't evaporate, you don't cool. And so it is possible for hockey players to overheat. Okay? And that's where drinking water and Gatorade come in, because it replenishes those fluids and helps with thermal regulation. Okay? So be cognizant, be aware of how much you lose during practice, and for every pound that you lose, it's about 16 ounces of fluid. So keep that in mind during a game as you're trading off, that during those recovery periods you're getting your fluid intake. Okay? It'll help not only with thermal regulation but also with performance. Okay? Any questions? Probably have all heard this before from your coaches. Drink, right? Good. The other thing to talk to you about is dietary supplements. Okay? You'll probably be, I don't want to say encouraged, but you'll be aware of individuals that will tell you to take certain dietary supplements that will increase performance, make you faster, make you stronger. They don't work. Okay? And I can show you the research that tells you they don't work. The difference is the marketing. Okay? You'll read, maybe I can have everybody just come around the table and I can show them some marketing things.
Yeah.
Because it's very interesting the way that marketing is used in dietary supplements.